Hey guys, it's Kitten, and I'm sitting on my floor in front of my dresser. Yay! If you haven't noticed, throughout my videos, I'm trying to figure out where in my room is the best place to film. I'm trying to figure that out. Still don't know. The main problem with the locations with my room is the background. I don't want my background to be like a wall. I'm trying to figure that out. There's a bookcase on top of my dresser. That's where I filmed once. The tripod doesn't get that high as much as I would want it to do. Hopefully, if I do like this spot, it's Chica. Chica's hanging out. That's a pop figure, by the way. If I do end up liking this spot, I may just start filling up the hearts with little pop figures or anything nerdy, which it's cute. It's cute. It's a pop out thing. I just wanted to start in a high note for this video because this video gets pretty not nice. I need to smooth out a basis first before I start the story. I am Catholic, so I am religious to an extent. If you don't know about certain things that you have to do when you're Catholic, the last thing you need to do to be fully an adult Catholic is confirmation. I always get communion and confirmation mixed up. Whichever one that happens when you're a teenager. Why I'm telling you that I'm religious for this story is because the incident that happens within the church. Not specifically the church building, but a religious gathering thing for people that are for kids that are Catholics that are going through confirmation. One of the things you have to do for confirmation is it's a mandatory thing. You have to go on this retreat to a location with all the other kids. As much as they want it to be a enlightening experience and a good experience, mine wasn't. But it was okay. There's some things that happened that I am not okay with. I wasn't okay with when I was 16 when this happened. So I was in sophomore year at the time, and I was 16-year-old, the ripe old age of 16. And I was very closed off. Very, very closed off. I'm stalling. Yay. So pretty much what had happened at the retreat was not that bad at the retreat. It's what happened after the retreat that really stuck with me. So at the retreat, everyone except the adults, everyone is 16, 15, kids. I was probably one of the older kids because I was 16 and everyone else was probably 15. I ended up just hanging around by myself. This incident lasted at over a few days. But I remember one night after we had ate our dinner, I just kind of decided to hang around in the cafeteria area and just sit at the table on the bench reading a book I had brought with me. And I was just sitting there alone reading. This kid, this guy, just randomly out of nowhere just appears and sits next to me and tries to talk to me. At 16, I was shy, yeah, but when people tried to interact with me, I tried to be friendly as I possibly could without being too rude. It was, to me, when I was reading, it was rude on his part to try to talk to me when I was reading because, don't fuck with me when I'm reading. If I'm reading, go away, okay? It was obvious to me, even at 16, that he was trying to, hit on me. I just, I wasn't feeling it. I didn't have any attraction to him. I was shy and I just wanted him to go away. But he kept on, asking questions what are you reading? What's that book? And I'm just I would, half-ass my answers, and I would say the title, and like I wouldn't like elaborate with anything. So I was dropping hints of like, please go away. And it got to the point where he just wouldn't go away, so I just like, hey, I'm gonna go to bed. Okay, bye. I took my book and then went back to the dorm area and just slept. Then the next day was like the play day where you got to play in the snow, because where we were at was in the mountains where it was snowing and shit. The half the day was fine. And then when I was just hanging around with like a few of my older friends, the same guy appears again. And I was just like, fuck. And again, he kept on like following me around, trying to ask me questions and like try to get to know me better. I kept on dropping hints of like, I didn't like, a lot of the time, like a lot of with his questions, I just didn't even respond to him. Like I looked and nodded and then walked away. And he kept following me and trying to ask questions and try to talk to me. And like it got to the point where I was starting to freak out, because he was like super persistent. And like when the one thing that really bothered me with him is how close like physically he got to me. At my point in my emotional state and where I was and like how shy I was, and since I was 16, I just didn't know what the fuck to do. I kept on like trying to walk away from him, and he just follows me and tries to talk to me. And it got to the point where I was just like, okay, bye again, and I ended up escaping into the main like building where all of the adults were. For most of the rest of the day, I just hung out with the adults because I knew he wouldn't come around and try to talk to me when there were adults around. I just I didn't know that for sure, but I had this feeling that he wouldn't be around if I was around adults. That ended up being the case because he didn't follow me in the building. The rest of the retreat was okay. I didn't really see, no, I did see him. I did see him on the last day. Jesus Christ. He was like, it wasn't like bad, but it was getting to the point of fucking creepy. He didn't touch me or anything, but he was persistent in the way that was just, please take the hint, creepy person, and just walk away, thanks. On the last day, there was this thing we had to do. It was actually a very ingenious kind of exercise. I don't remember exactly, but it was where you would get up and walk to a person and tell them how much they are as like a good person, how much you appreciate them, and like all this positive feedback to this person. And then when you tell that person is then supposed to get up and then go to another person and tell them like the same kind of stuff, like positive reinforcement stuff. It was that kind of thing. I fucking knew that once like someone went up to the creepy guy that had been following me around, like the first thing he was gonna do is walk up to me. Guess what? When he gets the positive reinforcement thing to him, and he gets to like go up to someone else and tell them the same shit, yeah, he comes up to me. Like, I just fucking knew at that point that he was just crossing a line. He just needed to go away. And like the shit he ended up saying, like, you're beautiful, like, I really like you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, please fucking go away. Ugh. That was pretty much the last time I saw him on the retreat. So the retreat is gone. Like, he didn't touch me at all, but he was just super, super creepy and persistent, which is not okay to his extent. So the retreat week ends. We get on the buses and we go home, and I ended up, I remember telling my mom about it, and she just kind of brushed it off, like, oh, he was just really interested in you, like, just don't think about it, it's fine, it won't happen again. Like, I was like, yeah, true, probably, like, he was just really interested in me for some reason. Sorry about the coloring. of the first half of the video, or most of the video. I'll try to fix that in editing. I didn't realize that I was super whited out. I thought the coloring of the camera would auto like fix that shit, but it didn't. So I did a thing on the camera so like it films in real colors, so I'm not whited out like a ghost. So the next time like our little Catholic group for confirmation met, I remember kind of praying, like really praying that like I wasn't put into a group with this guy. So pretty much like the regular times that like this confirmation Catholic group thing that I was in, we would meet like every like Monday night or something. And the thing about like when we would meet in this big room with like smaller groups of like 5 to 6 people. And the thing with like each group, the people and the combination of people would change each week. So you would be like in a group of completely different people the next week than the week before. And it was just, that was one of the things that I kind of hated about this confirmation group, is because like I don't like meeting new people. So like I ended up like really praying, particularly the week like we were gonna meet after the retreat, that this guy would not be in the same group as me. The next week that we met, I ended up like being relieved that the group I was in, that like it was 1, all women, which is great, and 2, he wasn't in it, obviously because he's not a woman. I ended up just like sighing with relief that like, okay, good, I'm fine, I'm safe. So I just ended up like sitting in my chair and just sitting there waiting for like the rest of the group to arrive and the rest of the people to arrive. The group location I was at in particular was like the group directly right in front of the double doors where everyone's supposed to arrive. And my seat just conveniently was the one that had like my back to the door. So I was the first thing that people saw when they walked in, like the back of me. A common thing that I did before we went to meet, I would shower, and with me when I shower, I don't blow dry my hair, like I air dry it. So it's usually like wet when I like arrive at the group thing. At the time it was like really super fucking long. Since I had long hair, I just didn't think anything of it. Okay. The bad part, there was already, and like 3 or 4 other girls. Not every one of the group was there, but like a few girls were there with me. The same guy who had been like pursuing me at the retreat ends up walking behind me, and I'm sitting down, and my hair, I like to like put my hair like resting like over the chair. I didn't notice him come behind me, but I ended up feeling this tug on my hair, and I ended up realizing that he had taken a small piece of hair and was touching it like this. That after he did that, like he had crossed a point where it was not okay. He thought he was being fucking romantic. Like he knew me already. Not a lot, but like a little, just like he didn't like go all the way to my hair, but he just stayed with like the bottom like strand of a piece of hair, and he would touch it. I heard his voice, so I knew it was him. And he ended up just saying, like, I don't remember what he said, but I just remember it was just creepy beyond creepy. Like, I fucking froze. When he touched me and he said that creepy comment, like, I literally, like, I did not move. Like, I froze in place. I couldn't react. I couldn't move. Like, I just remember thinking, please, God, make him go away. It was just not okay. And I remember I think I remember seeing a few, like all of the girls that were sitting with me give him the most accusing, like, fucking looks. Like, they all looked at him like, fucking don't touch her, walk away. Like, they were like weirded out too by him like randomly touching me. Like, he noticed one girl in particular at the group, and I knew her. She's very headstrong. She's very like, she doesn't take your shit kind of girl, and I knew that about her. And she was giving him the most aggressive look, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, he noticed that. He looked at her and like, he said like something about like my hair being damp, or like it felt damp or something. And she didn't say a word. She just kept glaring at him. And he ended up, like, I guess being intimidated by her, and he just kind of let go of, like, my hair and walked away. At that point, when he walked away, I was still kind of in shock. Like, that did not just fucking happen. All the girls that were with me just went out of their way of, like, are you okay? And because they knew that, like, I was just not okay, and they wanted to, like, make sure that I was gonna be okay, which is sweet of them, which, like, I really appreciated. I knew at that point that his advances had crossed the point of harassment. Like, he was harassing me. I'm still not exactly sure if it could be categorized as sexual harassment, because all he did was get really close to me, touch my hair once, and like, that's it. But I know for sure that like was straight up harassment. Like, I was freaked out. Like, the rest of the night was fine. Like, I didn't see him at all. Like, he went to his group and stayed there. I remember, like, it was weird. After that week, I remember not seeing him at all. Like, he had disappeared. For some reason, he wasn't there anymore. Like, I didn't see him around, which made me think, I think I remember seeing him walk into, like, the religious leader's, like, office. And I remember seeing the religious leader that was, like, directing us was female. So, like, I remember, like, he would vaguely remember him walking into her office and then, like, seeing her really, really angry. A part of me thinks that one of the girls at the group told her what had happened. And I think because of that, like, no one really told me, like, what happened afterwards. Like, no one said, like, I'm gonna tell the director what had happened. Like, I still, to this day, I don't know what happened. But I'm assuming that someone, like, told on him. He did something that was not okay. Which I'm grateful of, because I wouldn't have had the balls to do it. So that's part of the reason why I was really happy that I was in a group of women, because everyone knew what had happened was just not okay. So I'm assuming one or two girls just told on him. I think he got kicked out. I didn't see him at all. If I saw him another time, he would have probably, and if he wasn't told on, he would have probably escalated to more personal touching, which I don't want to think about. But I know, bet your ass, if we were like in our 20s, like right now, if I was in the same situation now at my age, and if there was no one there to like tell on him or anything, it would have probably escalated to sexual harassment. I'm just lucky that I got off easy with that one. But it's still fucking scary and not okay. If you want to tell me like what happened, like if something happened to you, message me, comment to me, email me. I think if you feel the need to tell someone, feel free to tell me, because I'm very good at listening. So if you need to tell someone and you have no one, I have open ears and I'm ready to listen, because stuff like this is just not okay. It's not okay. In no way is it okay. I wish it would happen less. So, like, subscribe, all that shit, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Bye, guys.